It means how do we interact with each other. That's basically it.
Yes, sir.
And an excellent start would be just 4 questions that we should ask each other and ask ourselves each and every day, all day. Now, these are not in the book right now, but I'm in the process of updating the basic book. And these 4 questions will be in that book. And that is, what do I want to do? That's question 1. Question 2, why do I want to do what I want to do? Question 3, how do I plan to do what I want to do? And then this is the clincher question, number 4. What do I expect the constructive result to be? Now, that's a question you ask yourself, and that's a question you ask any black male that you interact with. Ask him, what do you want to do? Because everybody wants to do something every minute of the day. I don't care where you are on the planet. If you are any kind of organism, if you're in the form of a person or an animal or an insect or a bird or whatever, you want to do something every day, all day. So the question is, what do you want to do? If you're sitting and talking to the gentleman sitting somewhere and having dinner or whatever, you ask him, what do you want to do? What is the thing that really on your mind that you want to do more than anything? And then, why do you want to do it? That's question number 2. Why do you want to do what you want to do? There's got to be a reason, so give me the reason why you want to do what you want to do. And then number 3, well, now, if you want to do this and you got a reason for doing it, how do you plan to do it? That's question number 3. How do you plan to do what you want to do? And then last but not least, and this is the clincher, this is where it might even involve you, what do you expect the constructive result to be? And underline that word constructive. In other words, if you're going to do something together, the one thing that you want to nail down with that gentleman is this thing that we're going to do together. What's going to be the constructive result? Because all results are either going to be constructive or non-constructive. That's any move that a person makes all day long. If you're sitting and having a meal, that meal that you are eating is either going to have a constructive effect or a non-constructive effect. You might have to go and get some antacids or something like that, or, after you have that meal. Why? Because the ingredients in the meal made you sick, or it put on more weight. So any move that you make is going to be constructive or non-constructive all day long. So getting back to the gist of your question, any interaction that you have with the gentleman that you're talking to, these are just what you might call civil questions, civilized questions. You're getting right to the point real quick when you find out what is on his mind and why it's there and what's going to be the constructive result of whatever it is that he's thinking about. Because he's talking about wants. You're talking about wants. You're talking about your wants. You're talking about his wants. You want to find out if whether or not both of you want the same thing. You're on the same page. And so it's a fast-forward way of getting right to the gist of everything. And that can spread to any conversation that you have on the job with anybody and whatnot. A person just sitting there and just talking and talking and talking and talking in the lunchroom or whatnot, or at the desk next to you, and they're just talking. You can just ask them, say, wait a minute. What is it that you want? More than anything, when you're sitting by yourself and thinking about your wants, what is it you want more than anything? And why do you want it? And how do you plan to get it? And what do you expect the constructive result to be? And that applies to everything from, buying a house to the teenager out there on the street who's got a 9mm gun in his belt. And he says, what I want to do is find me somebody in a new car, and I'm a carjack them. That's what I want to do. And I plan to do it. Why do I want to do it? Because I want to get the car and ride around in it, or I want to sell the car and make me some money. That's why I want to do it. Now, how do I plan to do it? I plan to do it with this 9mm. And what do I expect the constructive result to be? Now, that's the clincher question to anybody listening to what I'm saying right now, because somebody out there is getting ready to carjack somebody right this minute. Now, what does that person expect the constructive result to be? Because that's a business. And most likely it's not going to have a constructive result. It's going to wind up being a great big disappointment and a whole lot of tragedy for all involved, which I would recommend that this is not a constructive plan. It's something that somebody wants, but it's going to end ugly. And for the person who thinks they can get ahead by doing it, it's going to end ugly, because how many cars can you jack as a business, because that's what it is, it's a business, before you wind up in big trouble or dead?